Coming up live on LiveWire, we've got a great show for you today. You must sit down, get something to write with, because this is a very important show. I'm pleased to have here the executive director of Meals on Wheels. I'm going to talk about services to the community during this really tough time that we're going through, and all the kinds of programs that they have developed to serve the people in need in our community and the wider community of, and also then we're also going to have a representative, Jesse Chenchu, from Opening Doors, which is a service organization that deals with whole kinds of services for people, including refugees. And you want to learn more about that? Tune in, sit down, watch this show.
Meals on Wheels by ACC delivers over 12,000 meals a week to Sacramento seniors 60 and above. This year, we celebrated our 10th year of service and delivered our 5 millionth meal. Over 500 dedicated volunteers, 45 employees, and community support make this possible and help us ensure that seniors don't go hungry. Let's continue feeding vulnerable seniors and make this holiday season special for them. Please visit mosac.org and donate today.
That is so. Kevin McAllister, it is amazing to talk to you, and I'm interested in your how you deliver so many meals and what is the impetus?
Sure, and that's actually an older commercial. So we're at our 6 millionth meal now. Yeah, in 12 years. So super excited to reach that number. COVID put us over the top, of course. You know, we saw a huge increase in the need during the pandemic.
So what happens, give me the scenario of how someone gets a meal from Meals on Wheels.
Sure, they call our office and, say, I need a meal. Our staff members go out, do an assessment to determine if they're a good fit for our home delivered meal program. That's for homebound seniors. And those that are mobile, they call our office and we refer them to our congregate nutrition program, which has 20 sites for lunchtime meals. Right now is curbside pickup because of the pandemic.
So what's happening now in terms of COVID, and are meals, the amount of meals shrinking or growing?
Oh, growing. Prior to the pandemic, we were serving about 1,800 meals a day. We're over 3,000 meals a day now. Yeah.
So do you have a whole crew that jumps in trucks and cars and
things? Oh, yeah. Trucks,
are these
cars,
volunteers or?
We have paid staff and volunteers.
I see.
Over 200 volunteers help us deliver these meals.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So, so how are you supported? I mean, does somebody just kind of like write a check for you?
Yeah, sometimes I write one, No.
Oh, you do? Okay.
We're federally and state funded, and of course, donations as well from our wonderful community.
Donations, aha. You're bringing up the idea that, coming up is the big day of giving.
I do know.
And people ought to know that that's going to happen, and they should get ready and watch this program, because we're going to go through a number of organizations, and then they can fund those organizations. Whip out their checkbook, their wallet, and say, so how many meals can a 20 get me?
With fuel costs and,
Yeah. How much, though?
Yeah, 20.
Five meals?
This is one meal now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
One meal. At least I got one meal out. Okay.
I will use this.
All right, cool. Tonight, right? I got hungry. So I think it's fascinating. So you have a board of directors.
We do.
And they support your organization through major gifts.
Major gifts, strategic planning.
Mm-hmm.
They're a wonderful group.
Good. And so on the big day of giving, you guys will be out there stalking the world, looking for support from general people like me who just lost. Right? No,
Yeah,
gave you
this
25.
this is our first gift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it is good. At any rate, it really is interesting. So, where do you deliver meals in this county? Is this pretty much set up in this county?
All of Sacramento County. So Folsom, Galt, Ileton, Rancho Cordova, Natomas, you name it, the entire county.
The entire county.
Yes.
Wow. So, you were walking down the street one day and you thought, "Gosh, I think I'll work for an organization called Meals on Wheels."
Yeah, what better organization to serve?
Yeah. I mean, no. I mean, is there some kind of issue that drove you closer to it?
You know, I have worked with youth and families now for about 23 years, and
Oh, I see.
over that time, I really got into supporting underserved communities, access to food, and I thought this was a great opportunity for me.
And access to food, yeah. And does the food industry here help you in any?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, tell me about it.
Absolutely. We receive a lot
You
of
can
support.
you can name names.
I can
if
name
you
names?
would. Sure, you can.
We have Drewski's Hot Rod Kitchen. They help out a lot. They have saved us so many times. Sellen's Market. So, you know, Sellen's, Oboe. Yeah, we have a lot of restaurants.
Good,
that
good. And
support us.
they give you food and.
Yeah, they give us food or they help us prepare meals. You know,
Oh,
we've
okay.
even partnered with, you know, Mulvaney's and Benchoyaki and a lot of the other organizations. They really supported us at the start of the pandemic.
So if I wanted to be a volunteer, what would I do?
Just give us a call.
Give us a call. Okay, and I think we're going to put somewhere on the screen here, folks, if you want to be a volunteer and help deliver these meals.
Yes.
Yeah, not eat them.
Not eat them. I mean, you can eat them too. But
There it is, right on the screen. Well, I tell you, they found the right button there back there in the studio. www.mowsac.org.
mosac.org. Yeah.
Okay, good. So, you say that the amount of requests is growing.
Yes.
Well, how do you figure? What does that mean?
I mean, you know, folks need more access to meals.
Yeah.
You know, it's been hard for a lot of seniors, you know, financially.
Yes.
And so we're out there to support.
A lot of people are out of work too. Just drive down the street, J Street.
Out of work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing situation, I must say. And so, do you even provide food for hungry pets?
We do. It's our Anna Meals program. So we started that program a couple of years ago because we noticed that some of our seniors were feeding their meals to their pets because they couldn't afford pet food.
Well, I'm a senior and I have a dog. Hold on, let me call my wife.
Yeah, I'll hook it up for you.
Oh, I'm just joking.
But we do
I've
have,
done buy some dog food. But it is amazing, and people should not feel like they should get on the phone and call you folks.
Absolutely. We want them to call. You know, this
Okay.
is a program for anyone 60 and better. You
I
don't say
see.
60 and above or 60 and older, 60
Yeah.
and better.
Oh, yeah, okay, that sounds good. Good. And so your board then they talk about program support in any way. Are there other kinds of program areas that you find interesting for an organization?
Yeah, they do support us with, you know, Rebuilding Together. So that's another organization that we work with to make the home safe for our seniors. So rebuilding
Home safe, yeah,
so
I
wrap
noticed that.
bars and bed lighting and stairs. We do it all with that team.
So good.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, grab bars are important. The bathtubs and things like that. Seeing a lot of seniors have older homes that have only bathtubs, no showers,
Right.
and even in the shower, you want something to hold on to.
Yeah, and we give shower chairs,
Uh-huh.
fans. Yeah, we do as much as we can.
Oh, this is good. Well, it's really interesting. So let's have a look at some photographs of people doing what they do best. Oh, there's people looking for food, right? Look at the. Oh, and there it is up there.
Oh, okay. That's one of our lunch sites. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's a site for people to eat.
Yeah, so that's one of our restaurant programs. So we have
Okay.
a few restaurants that we partner with for a meal voucher program. So those are a few of our participants
I hope they
there.
take their masks off.
Yeah. They
Get
can
the
eat through
food
that.
in. Okay, here we go. Let's have another one. Oh,
One of our volunteers delivering meals to one of our participants.
yeah, looks good.
Yes. They're always happy to see us. Those are our team members.
Aha. Okay, those are volunteers, or those are your
There's our staff.
staff. Okay.
Yes, and volunteers, actually.
And the staff primarily, what do? They make the food or prepare it?
So they staff the sites,
Uh-huh.
deliver the meals as well. We have another team that produces the meals for us.
Wow, and that's a lot of meals to go out. That's amazing.
That's one of our curbside pickup sites. So we have 13 of those.
Uh-huh.
It's one of our volunteers that's been with us for
What's in the big box?
over 10
A cake
years.
for me?
Yeah.
No. No, nutrition. Nutrition's important, right?
It is.
Ah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back to
and
you.
that's me up there.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, what's the future of looking like in terms of support?
We're getting a lot of support, and
Yeah.
especially Big Day Giving, fundraising for that. Yeah.
So, and what will I do? What am I supposed to be? Me, I'm Mr. Giver, and what do I do on the big day of giving, which is when?
May 5th, 2022. Share with your friends and family. Encourage them to give to Meals on Wheels by ACC.
And so, what they do is they get on the phone and say, "Here's my card number."
They can go. Well, there's actually a website for the Big Day Giving,
Uh-huh.
but they could call and we can support them with going through that platform, or they can visit our office and drop off a donation as well.
Okay, and where is that?
We're in the Pocket area. Yeah.
A nice place to visit. So you can either do that or get on the Big Day of giving calendar and make sure that happens. Yeah, that'll be a big day, I think.
Oh yeah, it's always fun. I enjoy it.
Good. Well, it's fantastic, and it's an amazing thing that you actually help pets survive here. You wonder how some poor people they need the dogs for support or whatever, or they maybe and feeding them just as well.
Yeah, they're family, and so that's why we love doing that. And nutrition's important because if they're feeding their pets, then what are they eating?
Oh. So we talked about what you do, which is interesting in terms of giving out meals to hundreds, thousands, and then also the structure of your organization, which has volunteers. So I could volunteer if I can, and help to, make the food, deliver the food, right?
Yeah,
Oh, or I could be a sponsor, right?
absolutely.
Give you some cash.
Give me like you
Give you
just
a
did.
hard 20, man. and hope that keeps it going for the time that we're now going through, which is really amazing time. Yeah. So, and your board of directors, of course, you want people who are who know about this kind of organization,
Yeah.
right? Who have background, and who are willing to give of their time at the meetings and give of their pocketbook, right?
It's really it's really their time. Our board is so passionate about our cause and ensuring that we're able to keep people in their homes safely, fed, and it's the visits. A lot of our board members are actually volunteers and they deliver meals, and they have developed these relationships with we call them participants, but our clients. So some of them have been delivering for 20 years plus to
I
the
see.
same people. It's incredible.
I saw. And what really gets me is that there are many people driven to provide services, just like the Meals on Wheels and the organizations that are serving Sacramento area. I have found to be, by comparison with other counties in California, an amazing thing. There's so much giving in terms of people wanting to provide that kind of service to people in our county, and it's just laudable. What you do is laudable.
Thank you.
All right. Kevin, thank you so much for talking to me about this, and we hope that Meals on Wheels achieves good times.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Okay, we're going to take a short pause for the cause, and we're going to be back after some important messages.
Every year, tens of thousands of young people experience homelessness. If you or someone you know needs help, 1-800-RUNAWAY can provide support and connect you to the right resources. Together, we can end youth homelessness.
So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. The immune system weakens with age. Ask about a flu vaccine option made specifically for us. Visit ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor about vaccine options for people 65 and older.
There's a quiet battle happening on our streets. Pedestrians are acting indestructible. And drivers act like they own the road. They're both wrong. Be aware, be alert. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
With me in the studio is Jesse Chenchu, who is the CEO for Opening Doors.
That's right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome. And it's a very interesting, another service organization that really provides services to people who are refugees, who are immigrants from, who are poor. And so do you have like a criteria, or do you have a service organization that you work with to make all of these good things happen? Tell me what you do.
Sure. Opening Doors got started in 1993 as a ministry outreach of a local Presbyterian church, and we became an independent organization in the early 2000s, initially serving refugees, and over the years we've expanded to serving immigrants and survivors of human trafficking through a range of programs. We have an incredibly diverse staff and communities that we serve. We're a staff of about 40, and together we speak over 10 languages, really reflecting the diversity of the Sacramento community.
Can we go through each one of those situations and talk about what's happening, Ukrainians?
Yeah.
Tell me about the Ukrainian people.
Yeah, Sacramento has a significant Ukrainian population. We have been actually welcoming Ukrainian refugees in small numbers for many, many years here in Sacramento. And we anticipate that number will increase given the current events. We know that there are already Ukrainian asylum seekers who have made their way to Sacramento. And recently President Biden announced that the United States will welcome 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. So we stand ready for that, and we are looking forward to welcoming our new neighbors once they're on their way here.
Yeah, it's going to be a long haul, and so I like what Poland is doing. What do you think that is? That is a way of dealing with the issue because it's right on the border.
Yeah, I mean, what happens in these situations is that people are forced to flee for their safety and to protect themselves and their families. They often don't want to resettle into a third country because they dream that they will be able to go back home. So what we see happening in Poland and in other countries in Europe where people are being offered safe places to stay and to shelter for the meantime, hopefully that will continue. And I know that we are all praying for peace in Ukraine and that families who can return will be able to return. But if families need to resettle into a different permanent home, then Sacramento will be here to welcome them to our community.
That's good. It's good to hear. Because I always wondered, people wonder what, the news doesn't necessarily report this kind of self-help working and helping people. And I thought that's fascinating. So how in general do you support refugees and people who are running from death?
Yeah. So we are one of 5 resettlement agencies working here in Sacramento. When we work with a newly arriving refugee family, we pick them up at the airport and we do everything we can over a short period of time, a couple of months, to help them establish networks in their new communities. So that is helping them get an apartment or a home, getting kids enrolled in schools, getting mom and dad into employment services and English language classes, and doing what they need to do to establish some stability here in their new home.
If they don't speak English, but I understand that a lot of them do speak English or some English, that they have like two or three languages there, right? Dari and...
Yeah, so the Afghan populations, the most common languages are Dari Farsi or Pashto or Urdu. Sacramento has been home to a significant population of Afghan refugees as well over the years.
Yes.
Many of them are what's called special immigrant visa holders, which is a complicated way of saying that they were translators or otherwise helped the military in our presence there. So many of those individuals actually have great English language skills because of the work that they did back home in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And so they, if they have the English skills already, are able to just get right into the job market.
Do people who support and agencies that support your organization, do they realize that this is a long haul thing?
Yeah, we are so lucky to be here in Sacramento in a community that shares our values of welcoming and inclusivity. And it's a very long haul process because those immediate needs of stabilization, a safe place to sleep, some food in the pantry, those sorts of things, that can happen in the first weeks and months. But there's a long period of adjustment as people make ties in their new communities, establish relationships here, potentially seek mental health support to deal with the trauma that they may have experienced on their path to Sacramento.
Yeah.
Further their education and employment goals. So it's a long-term process, and we're really lucky to be surrounded by a community that shares in our desire to support our neighbors.
And this is they're kind of an action that has been taken in past wars almost for a long time. I happen to know, I read a book on Evanston, Illinois, which had a large development area, and when the Poles and the Russians had a war after World War I, they were afraid that the Russians would go in and do what they're wanting to do now. And so they sent whole families, especially families that had, the possibility of being pointed out as, and they sent them to Evanston, and they founded a church there, and they did all kinds of activities there. And what happened is that then some of them decided to stay and some went home.
Yeah. We see that many faith traditions share those values of welcoming the stranger and that sort of thing. And so many of our volunteers and supporters are called to support us because of their own faith and their own values.
We have some photos. Do we have some pictures? Could we see them? You can shake your head. We can't see them? No. Okay. We have some technical difficulties. Oh, there. Look at that. A technical difficulty, and we get to see something. What was that? Opening Doors. There it is up there. That's the organization we're talking to, and they will also be one of the Big Day of Giving recipients. So you can either save your money or jump into it right now and get on their website at www.openingdoorsincorporated.org, right?
That's right.
Way cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I find that really fabulous. So let's move over to another area, one that when I moved to Sacramento, a few decades ago, I got into this kind of work and found that human trafficking, that Sacramento was like the center for human trafficking. What is human trafficking and why?
Sure. So human trafficking generally falls into one of two categories, either sex trafficking or labor trafficking. And it's the use of force, fraud, or coercion for someone else's financial gain. And Sacramento has, like many places, has a big issue with human trafficking here for lots of different reasons. We are close to major interstate highways. We are surrounded by industries that may have labor violations or labor trafficking happening within them. So what we find are that individuals who are leaving trafficking situations need a lot of the same sort of supports as newly arriving refugee families. They need to find an apartment, to get health care, to get kids enrolled in school. And actually, immigrants are incredibly vulnerable to particularly labor trafficking. Many individuals are enticed to come to the United States on what they believe
Is just
are
someone helping.
legitimate, work-related reasons.
Yes.
And then once they find themselves here, they are actually, using coercion or
You will
fraud.
work these
Exactly.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
And they, don't get to have control over their own schedules. There are labor violations. There are all sorts of things that can happen. And oftentimes, traffickers may use the threat of deportation as a method to try to control individuals as well.
I see.
So once those individuals and sometimes families have managed to escape their trafficking situation, if they are an immigrant, we're able to also assist them with their immigration status as well.
Amazing. So Jesse, tell me then, what's the state of it by comparison with other places? How are we doing? We only have a minute.
We are an incredibly diverse community, so we are a wonderful home for refugees and immigrants to contribute to the community and to thrive.
So that's good. So and in this minute, we're also going to say, tell me what telephone number to call to make a donation.
Sure. Well, one of the best ways to do it is to go online, openingdoorsinc.org. You can also follow us on all of our social media. We're at Opening Doors Inc. on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we'll be posting about Big Day of Giving there as well.
That's great. And how do you feel about working for such an organization?
It is a joy and a blessing. I've actually volunteered for Opening Doors for almost 10 years before I joined the organization as CEO. And I'm just thankful every day that I get to do something that I believe in.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're almost done, but I wanted to say this. I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for talking to me about your organization. And I also want to say that over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking with other organizations throughout our area here. And as Kevin said, there are over 500 nonprofits just in our county. And fascinating.
Yeah.
So we'll see you later. See you next week on LiveWire.